Well, hello everyone. And, seems like this is gonna be the last run of, cinderblock deku, so, yeah. Hope all of you have enjoyed the series so far. But other than that, let's get into it, shall we? Now, 3 days pass before the raid. What happens with Eri goes to canon. Sorry, I needed to burp. But, yeah, no. When it comes down to it, it was quite interesting. Specifically, along the lines of, well, our protagonists in their final hours is Freeman. Since they do not have Eri to rush the process of the quirk erasing bullets, and like no one's really left of the league except for a small amount of people. Like, I don't see how they could retaliate. I don't even think Shigaraki would be able to. But regardless, they're gonna try and capitalize on, well, Eri, which would incur the same deal being made just about. But just having a bit more of a catch. But, Brick. Like, Ares mainly kept at the hero agency, to be honest. And, like, the only one she talks to is Brick. Because Night Eye can't get her to talk. Muriel could kind of get her to be sociable, but, like, you can't. But, like, because Muriel was, like, on that, let's leave her here train, which fucking mind boggles me. Yeah, no, fucking Aries gonna be completely fine with the person that just kind of, hey, give her back to the man. But, yeah, no, that wasn't realistic. But, more specifically, along the line, it gets pretty interesting. On the day of the raid, most, if not all, of the people that are a part of the Yakuza at that time, they had just enough to supply everyone with a partial success of a quirk erasing bullet. Granted, it was only for like, about an hour, maybe two. But that's good enough. They aren't getting full clips, they're all getting one. And that's it. But, when the raid actually begins, it goes super different. Like, so much more differently. Because they were kind of expecting to be found out. Having 3 days pass and Eri not coming up, they just assumed the police got her. Because who wouldn't? Predict the worst and hope for the best. Sorry for me kind of punching my microphone. That's my bad. But, yeah, no, when it comes down to specifically those two individuals, those mighty few individuals that are, like, waiting to ambush the people outside when they kick the doors down, Izuku doesn't know they're there, so they get 4 free shots off. All of them connecting with pros, specifically. One of them hitting Mirio. The other one hitting... I'm not going to say Night-Eye, because Night-Eye showed up late. Just like 10 seconds late. And didn't even have time to, like, use his quirk yet. That, and he had to, like, save up his energy because he was expecting to fight Overhaul himself. But, he gets hit. Mirio and Ryugu also get hit. As the cracks of the gunfire ring out in the streets, cause the countercharge of the villains from the other buildings. They were making sure if we were going to go down, we were going to go down swinging, and we're killing heroes. This isn't a time for mercy, for it has passed. As they begin charging, some of them coming out of the main building, and where Shisaki is basically playing general, and the others move forward, Izuku slams both hands together, falls to his knees, punches holes into the ground, the asphalt, which he is on, and, well, causes most, if not all, the people on the road to immediately get capsulated. Now, what do I mean by this? Only their mouth is showing. And I mean only their mouth. Like, no eyes, no arms, nothing. There is just, like, actual, like, concrete, like, I want to say, hey, like, parseps basically forcing their mouths open, and, like, giving their, like, actual body just enough room to breathe. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, like, they can move a little bit inside. No, they're completely, like, encapsulated, other than the, stomachs, like the torso. Other than that, nah, they're not gonna be able to, like, do much in all reality. They're stuck. And when Shisaki gets the report from one guy on the building, it immediately tells off Izuku, hey, there's people in the buildings. Which then Izuku causes basically the road to flip up and not corral, but, like, more along the lines of completely surround the building. I'm talking every window, every floor of that, I'm gonna say 2 to 2.5 story building covered in concrete, which means that also has a limited amount of oxygen. Izuku ain't playing games. That's an entire building of oxygen. They'll be fine. But, like, Izuku's mentality now is, I'm sick of this shit. I'm gonna just deal with it. So, as they're trying to, like, figure out what the fuck just happened and why people can't use their quirks, Izuku's just walking in. Zero fucks given. And Izuku is just holding the left wall. And while this is happening, just like small hands are coming in and out of the wall. And he just slides his hand forward and off the wall, causing the concrete wall to almost slither. Izuku sending basically a torrent of partially sentient, but not really concrete that could liquidize and harden whenever the fuck it wants, down the hallway on the right side. And last time I remember, there was a crossway, so the right side is being dealt with. And last time I remember, the right side had a very specific person on it, which isn't there anymore, which I'm going to have to replace with Rampa. Because I don't know many of the other members really that well, other than, like, I have Mr. Bubble Shield. Like, that was fighting with Rampa because they're the only ones that I really gave a fuck about. But, yeah. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Izuku feels like the creation of concrete and shit changing because of Overhaul. Shisaki, specifically. He knows that Shisaki's quirk can cause the creation of concrete, so he just starts walking in that direction. Not giving a fuck. Like, and I'm gonna say Rampa, that was basically meant to, like, cover Shisaki's escape, got, like, completely encapsulated. Like, Rampa cannot breathe, cannot speak, nothing. Like, there is concrete in his mouth, covering his earpiece. He could barely breathe through his nose. He won't die, but, like, since he's wigging out so much, and his muscles are using so much oxygen in his blood, he's basically hyperventilating, and he basically fucking passes out. That's basically what happened. So, like, there's an unconscious Rampa while Izuku walks past. Now, other people start to realize, hey, where the fuck is Izuku? And, like, that's when people actually look into the building and see Izuku turn a corner. And they're like, what the fuck? He went in? Which then ends up causing the remaining heroes who were talking about pulling back because most of the people are injured. They're trying to reach Izuku over the fucking his communicator, which then, as Night Eye's just looking around on the floor because he hears himself speaking, he sees Izuku's communicator in a concrete hand that has, like, the hands are almost together, and as he takes it, there's a slight note that says, don't worry, I'll deal with it. The quirk erasing bullets don't work on me, remember? Dumbasses. But, yeah, no. After, Izuku passes Rampa, people try to go in after him. And, which then Overhaul causes the second floor of the building to collapse on the first floor, basically denying entry. Because, thanks to Shisaki, he knows Sorry, not Shisaki. Shigaraki. Our favorite boy, Shiggy. He knows who Izuku is, and he's seen his ass on the cameras. And he knows that he cannot deal with multiple Izukus, or Izuku-level creatures at the moment. So he will have to deal with this one now. As Izuku is walking, he is doing something underneath the building that Shisaki does not know about. But, like, Izuku has a theory, and personally, he's not about to risk it. He wants to make sure it's either this man's dead or he's behind bars. There's no other question. There's no alternative. He goes to jail peacefully, or I put him in a patented coffin. Like, sorry, had to brush my microphone again because there's shit on it. Yeah, I think it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. But, yeah. Back to it. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you, since we're this far in, you're probably only gonna get one episode. You're like, why? I'm unmotivated. Like, it's difficult for some reason for me to think a shit that I could do in the stories at the moment, other than, like, special Izuku, because that's, like, been at the forefront of my fucking mind. But I don't want to post that right now. So you'll probably get cultist Izuku, maybe. I don't know. It depends. This might be the only video for that day, sadly. But, yeah. So, back to the story. When it comes down to Izuku, and specifically him moving down the hallway, he knows that there are multiple places that he's being led somewhere, and he's just calmly walking. No expression, nothing. He's just walking. Zero fucking hesitation. And people are trying to get in, dude. Bakugo wants in, Duplo Arms wants in. People that know Izuku and know exactly how he is want in. And since the ways that shit went down and how, like, fucking shaky it's been, it hasn't. It's not good for people. Especially right now. So, like, since Izuku ends up going in the room with multiple versions of Twice and Overhaul, all of the Twices and the Overhauls look the fucking same. So... But yeah, no. Izuku's basically says just flat out, I give you this one chance and this one chance only. Surrender, or you will taste judgment. If that judgment will have to be before your trial, so be it. And since, well, how do I say this in the most honest to God way? Shigaraki's not saying anything. Izuku says, fine. I hope you have truly prayed. And before Izuku does anything, he gets hit in the back and sent fucking flying through the side of the building into another one and out into the sidewalk. Which everyone sees Izuku and they see, well, we all know. You think Overhaul was gonna fucking not pull out the fucking stops? Nah. He knows what this kid did. Shigaraki can't prove it, but no, he can. Shigaraki knows what he did. He killed someone. And after that sentence, that basically confirmed it. That, oh shit, he actually did kill someone. Because Izuku never really let off killing intent before. Until that moment. Now, during this time period of little fucking homunculi Overhaul, because that's basically what he is. He's basically fucking went complete fucking Transformers and became some flesh abomination made of bricks and other such materials. But more importantly, as Izuku hit the ground, like, people that were about to scream stopped and just felt this fucking killing intent. Now, how is he getting this killing intent? Oh, simple. Izuku has dulled his emotions, even rage, to the point of, oh no, you think Stain's bloodless binding shit's scary? That's baby hours. That's baby juice shit, dog. That is laughable. Because he believes in what he's doing. Probably just as much as Stain. But the poison in Izuku's fucking heart, because that's basically what it is. Bloodlust is a metaphorical venom that leaks. And that could be caused by rage, anger, etc. But since Izuku doesn't have other emotions other than, like, unrelenting anger, some happiness, and he physically can't feel, like, too much pleasure. Like, he could feel, oh, this is comfy, this is warm. He can't feel, like, pain. He cannot feel that much. Like, he knows what stuff is if he fucking touches it, but, like, that's it. Now, I want you to basically imagine this. And, kick it up by 50. I'm talking, this shit will make All Might vomit. Like, that is the level of shit. Like, people cannot breathe. Like, it's too thick in the area. People are fucking frozen. People like Night Eye only felt this kind of bloodlust, and only, like, not even a quarter of the shit from, like, the vision that he had where All Might died. This shit don't make no fucking sense. How is he putting off so much bloodlust? And then he remembers. He has literally no facial expression, so we can't tell if he's fucked up. So, sorry, I accidentally did that one. But, more importantly, when it comes down to those, like actual people who have killed, like that have had to kill in the hero spot, like I'm gonna say Aizawa was there because I am positive Aizawa has snapped somebody's neck. Dog, you don't get those eyes if you don't kill somebody. I don't know what you mean, dog. For real. But I'm gonna say Aizawa's there. Aizawa's like almost hurling. Like he's close to just vomiting. And to be honest, Miracle vomits, Ryuk vomits, all of the students that were there either cannot breathe, vomiting, or both. And overhaul. I have only described the leak off because all of it is directed towards overhaul. As the somewhat broken body of Izuku rises, just sits up. The eyes are glowing redder than they ever have before. The face is no longer a stone visage of calm, cool, or collected. No, it almost is. It's like staring into nothing. Into something that has only felt little enjoyment in how it was raised to now. Because all of those negative emotions are hitting Shisaki overhaul like a fucking truck. And like, first time, he realizes exactly what he just did. To this person, he just writ his own fucking death warrant. And as soon as that realization comes up, Izuku doesn't even stand. He just says, Itomu. As his body crumbles into nothing. As abruptly as the bloodlust came, it vanishes, which causes Sasaki to stumble and almost fall to his knees, which then the shuddering is heard and felt as Shisaki attempts to stand. And before he even gets a chance, a hand underneath him grabs him, and from the entire warehouse, a titanic version of Deku rises. Brick. In this visage of pure hatred. Just just fucking relentless hatred. and sadness and suffering. Pure killing intent. Now that to Izuku, he's not focusing it anymore because of his size. That, and he literally is just fucking gone. He's like, he's not Doc Ock Deku, but he sees physically no reason at all to keep this man alive. There is zero reason. So, what he does is pretty simple. As he attempts to crush his hand turns to concrete dust. As Shisaki begins to fall. As the hand turns into concrete dust, the concrete, some of the particles still around this behemoth, this titanic creature. The particles whip around and begin cutting into Overhaul's body. It's going in high speeds. It is as if a dust devil made of glass is just ripping into Shisaki. Shisaki is able to make a pillar and escape the frontal assault and begins trying to do something. He begins to try to flee. As Shisaki makes the tallest pillar that he can muster, you all just hear in a booming voice that seemingly goes out of just fucking resonates through the city. You will not run from me. You are in my home. You are in my concrete wonderland. As Shisaki lands on a building and 2 blocks away, he sees the entirety of the titanic form of Izuku disappears. As he realizes that thing that is flying towards him is not just rubble. That is a very small, slender stone figure that has hands almost like not blades, fucking spikes. But the hands are the weirdest part. The hands are completely inhuman. The hands seemingly crunch and crack as it moves and lands and smashes onto the top of the building. And it does not see this. It does not know this. It lays out a screech that tears the soul out of men as it goes. Shisaki making another concrete pit, sending him flying. This would repeat for the next 2 hours. Ryuk finally, in that time, able to use her, not 2 hours. In that 2-hour time span, there we go. Ryuku and other Other people are able to use their quirks again. Others, some go into to the city to come and find Izuku. But it is not that hard for people with Ryuku. She carries them, and they just see pillars being made. And pillars being shattered, and a slightly bigger each time a pillar gets shattered. The thing that is Izuku, the thing giving chase, is growing more and more. Each pillar, each single fragment being absorbed and transforming into, well, what would be Izuku? What would be Brick? Brick is a nice person. But he has no room or time to play. The longer this chase goes on, the more possibility of casualties. He will be happy if it's only him. Izuku fires off his hand, clawed and seemingly jagged and in triangle shapes of his fingertips and other spikes. Stab into the back of Shisaki, causing him to screech almost in pain midair as he falls to the ground. Ripping the hand off, still seeing it, almost gnashing, wanting more, or trying to take what is his flesh from him. Shisaki is able to reconstitute himself finally. He has gotten enough breathing room. But only just for that moment. As Izuku lands, the hand shatters into the same dust particles, and with the hand that was holding it, it almost gets mulched. It's almost gone. The only thing really left of it is bone. It's like what you would expect if you took something like a power sander just to fuck in someone's bare hand. Flesh torn. Discarded. Shisaki screams in pain because of the hand is damn near it's gone. He could fix it, but fuck. That's just painful, and this is worse. As this now much more rock-like, not solid concrete, made of random bits of jagged stone. He just says, "Stop, or I will destroy the building which we are on, and I will make damn certain everyone in this building dies." Izuku stops. Unknowing to the others, they begin flying at full speed. He says, "Call them off. Now." And he says, "I do not have my communicator. I'm not asking. Call them off, or everyone in this building dies." And as he says that, a rock dislodges itself from Izuku's chest and slams into Shisaki's, causing him to stumble and fall off the building. Nothing to grab. The only chance that he has is him reaching out his destroyed hand towards the floor. And as he does, he realizes something. He fucking planned this. How the fuck did he plan this? As 4 spikes. Very fast execution. None of them were sharpened. This was not meant. The spike would not have killed Shigaraki. To the heroes, the fall would. One of the concrete pillars seemingly morphs a hand, grabbing Shisaki by his head and bringing him faster into the ground. And he tried to wave his hand. He does touch it, and it poofs to dust. The others bash, breaking his perfectly good arm, and then immediately sinking back into the ground, seemingly having him gain more speed. Shisaki's final moments. They flash. His brother. Everything that he has worked for. Nothing. It's been for nothing. A crash is heard, and the squelching noise of a head hitting concrete first. Izuku seemingly trying to play it off as he was not trying to knock him off of the building. He was. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was taking one out and making sure that he didn't get back up. As Izuku tried to leap, quote unquote, towards Shisaki as he was about to jump off. Well, not jump off, but fall off. He was just too slow. But as what Shisaki seen from Izuku was a smile, not of a man of mercy. One last chill ran up his spine. That was the second to last thing that he felt before he died. Other than just pain and suffering. He felt fear. Much more fear of death than anything else. As his eyes glaze, the 10-second period passes, and Shisaki has died. Izuku being able and trying, quote unquote, to stop the bleeding when he hits the ground. They immediately knew situation. Izuku is surprisingly not held responsible for the actions. Matter of factly, he was praised because unknowing to Izuku, who he was on top of a fucking hospital. So, yeah. And as we speed ahead a couple of years, Izuku's once home lay a much bigger version of Izuku. Once he has hit his 40s, he has gotten significantly bigger. He can now reach the second story of buildings with extreme ease, and the thirds with impeccable ease. He is much taller than normal men. And people see him as a pillar. His final name of his hero license would be The Mountain. And the mountain would lead to villains being arrested, as well as villains dying, causing most, if not all, of the members of the League to scatter to the wind, fleeing the country. And they cause trouble in other places. But we stay with Shisaki. Well, not Shisaki, Shigaraki. He knows he's the final one left. Twice. Dobby. Compress. All of us. Either in jail or fucking dead. Kurogiri, is he fucking dead? The doc? I can't even do anything. I know now he is not the user, but what the hell is he? As a knock on his small home, the small home of Shigaraki, Shigaraki would stand up. Shigaraki has, quote unquote, basically tried to go into hiding. He expected a pizza. He opens the door and immediately gets a face full of concrete being smashed through the wall of the small townhouse in New Mexico. Izuku has become a figure well known by all nations. The Mountain is one of the most dangerous heroes that you could come across. When the Mountain lies in the city, it sleeps until the storm approaches. When Izuku is in a city, the crime rate drops to 0%. He has spread clones in the oceans, on small islands, everywhere. Underneath the concrete, above it, on mountains, in forests. He has covered most, if not every single area. But Mount Rushmore specifically is one of the places where he likes in the U.S. Sitting on top of Lincoln's head just to relax and take in the smell He finally knows how to breathe. Well, smell. He's figured out that his senses will come to him in time. By the age of 160, he has brought crime rates down to nearly 0%. In that short time period, the villains fear him for what he is. A killer, famed as a hero. The Society of Heroes do not like how he operates, but they admit it's effective. He has fallen in love. And he realized over some years longer that he will not stop growing. So, once he hit 200, he stayed in the mountain ranges of countries and cities. He still has smaller clones of himself scattered. But in each mountainside, there is a face that sleeps. Some say that it mumbles. Time passes years, and Izuku just stands still, watching as everything he knows changes. More and more. All the way until a very large rock hit the uppermost point of the Earth, Antarctica. Well, the North Pole. But, in all fairness, Santa ain't real. And the ice caps fucking melted a while ago. He has seen human greed, and he has seen what it has brought them. The wrath of God. He now wonders and ponders and thinks as he drifts. The place which he once called home lay barren. And he now shoots across the sky as he knows he is. An angry comet, searching for any signs of life. He wishes to find something, anything, that could remind him of home. Until he realized one day, while he was floating, there was water on him. A very, very small amount of water. And then it started to grow into dirt. Izuku started to become warm. Uncontrollably so. But it did not bring him pain. It felt comfortable. Space is so cold, so tiring. He has found a way to truly sleep. A very long time later, his eyes open, and he sees small things moving on the surface of his chest. So, what he does is simple. He begins disconnecting parts of itself, making a very small bit of his finger chip off and fly down, crashing into his body, causing a cataclysmic event. Magma would seemingly shoot up from mountains made of his pores. And he says, maybe I could give them one more chance. Maybe. Just maybe I won't. I will just watch. And if human nature does not change, I will be the asteroid to the dinosaurs once again.